Your golden retriever finishes their bowl in 30 seconds flat. Then they look at you like you just committed a crime by not refilling it. They follow you into the kitchen every single time you walk near it. They beg at the table, steal food off counters, and stare at you with those eyes that say, "I am literally starving right now," and you're starting to wonder if something is wrong with them. Here's what almost nobody tells you. For a significant percentage of golden retrievers, the hunger isn't a behavior problem, it isn't greed, and it isn't something training will fix. It's written into their DNA. There's a mutation in a specific gene that affects how their brain processes fullness. And if your dog carries it, they are not being dramatic. They genuinely cannot feel satisfied the same way other dogs do. I'm Emma, and before you start adjusting their portions or assuming your dog just has a personality quirk, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share completely changes how you think about feeding a golden retriever, and it explains something that has confused owners and vets alike for years. We put together a free feeding guide specifically for this breed over at MyFurKid online. Golden Retriever, it covers everything I'm about to explain, plus the practical strategies that actually work. Link is in the pinned comment below, but right now let's start with the science. Because once you understand what's happening inside your dog's brain at mealtime, the behavior that drives you crazy suddenly makes complete sense. In 2016, researchers at Cambridge University published a finding that explained a mystery golden retriever owners had been reporting for decades. A mutation in a gene called POMC, propionmelanocortin, was found in a significant portion of the breed. This gene plays a direct role in hunger signaling. In a dog with the normal version, the brain receives a clear signal when the stomach is full. Stop eating, you're done. In a dog with the mutation, that signal is either absent or severely weakened. Their brain never gets the memo. Every meal ends the same way. The bowl is empty, but the dog is still scanning the room, still searching, still completely convinced that food must be somewhere nearby. This isn't stubbornness. This isn't bad behavior. This is a neurological difference. And roughly 1 in 4 golden retrievers carry some form of this mutation. Here's where it gets more interesting and more unexpected. The same mutation that makes these dogs seem obsessed with food is almost certainly connected to why golden retrievers are one of the most trainable breeds on the planet. The Cambridge researchers noted this directly. A dog that is perpetually food motivated will work for treats longer, harder, and with more focus than a dog that gets full and loses interest after 2 minutes. That relentless drive to find food, the trait that makes them steal sandwiches off coffee tables and raid trash cans at 2 a.m., is the exact same trait that makes them hold a perfect sight while a squirrel runs past, and recall reliably from 100 meters away when you have the right reward in your hand. The hunger is simultaneously their greatest flaw and one of their most valuable qualities. But there's something you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Because not every case of constant hunger in a golden retriever is the POMC mutation. Some of it is genetic. Some of it is a warning sign your vet needs to hear about. Hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid, is one of the most common conditions in the breed, and increased appetite alongside unexplained weight gain is one of its earliest symptoms. Diabetes causes constant hunger because the body cannot use the food it's consuming. Cushing's disease, intestinal parasites, and certain long-term medications all create the same effect. Here is the rule. If your dog has always been food obsessed from the day you got them, that's almost certainly genetic. If their hunger noticeably increased, especially alongside changes in thirst, energy levels, coat condition, or belly size, that is a vet appointment, not next week, this week. Before we talk about what to actually do, I want to flag the most important thing we cover in the free guide at myfurkid.online/golden retriever because it's the part most people skip. There's a specific feeding setup that makes a genuine difference for Goldens with the POMC mutation, and it has nothing to do with switching to diet food or restricting their portions further. Most owners find out about it after months of frustration trying everything else first. The link is in the pinned comment. Now, let's talk about the mistake that almost every owner of a food-obsessed Golden makes, because it seems completely logical and it makes the problem dramatically worse. The most common response when a Golden seems constantly ravenous is to give them more food, more kibble, an extra handful of treats, a little something from the table because they look so miserable. And emotionally, this makes complete sense. Your dog looks hungry, so you feed them. The problem is that with the POMC mutation, adding more food does not create more satisfaction. The brain's satiety circuit isn't working correctly to begin with. You can add another full cup of kibble, and within 10 minutes, your dog will be staring at you with the exact same expression. What you've actually done is increase their caloric intake without changing their subjective experience of hunger at all. And since Golden Retrievers are already one of the breeds most prone to obesity, this pattern leads directly to joint damage, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and a significantly shortened lifespan. More food is not the answer. Volume and time are. Here is what the research on food-motivated dogs consistently shows. When the brain's satiety signal is unreliable, two things matter more than how much food is in the bowl: how long the eating experience lasts and how much physical volume is involved. A dog that spends 8 minutes working through a slow feeder bowl has measurably better outcomes than a dog that inhales the same number of calories in 20 seconds. Slow feeder bowls, the ones with ridges, mazes, and obstacles, are not gimmicks. They extend the eating experience and give the gut additional time to send whatever partial satiety signals it can generate. Adding low-calorie bulk to meals, plain cooked green beans, raw carrots, plain pumpkin puree, increases physical volume without meaningfully increasing caloric load. Your dog eats more, takes longer, and the brain has more time to work with what it has. There is one more risk that every owner of a food-obsessed Golden needs to take seriously, and most people don't think about it until it becomes an emergency. Gastric dilatation and volvulus, bloat, is one of the most lethal conditions in large breed dogs. It happens when a dog eats too fast, swallows excessive air, and the stomach twists on itself. It can be fatal within hours. Golden Retrievers are among the highest risk breeds because of their deep chests. And dogs that are food obsessed, that inhale every meal in seconds, are at significantly elevated risk. 2 meals a day instead of 1, a slow feeder bowl, and no vigorous exercise for at least an hour after eating. These are not optional suggestions for this breed. For a dog with the POMC mutation, they are non-negotiable precautions. I want to say something directly to the owners watching this who are exhausted by this behavior. If your Golden stares at you constantly, begs relentlessly, and acts like every meal might be their last, your dog is not manipulating you. They are not poorly trained. They are not spoiled. They have a brain that was built differently, and from inside that brain, the hunger is completely real. Understanding that doesn't solve the problem on its own, but it changes how you respond to it, with a strategy instead of frustration or guilt. The free guide at myfurkid.online, Golden Retriever, has the full feeding protocol we recommend for food-obsessed Goldens, including the specific setup, schedule, and bulk foods that make the biggest difference. Everything is in the pinned comment. So here is the full picture. If your Golden Retriever is always hungry, there are 3 explanations, and each one has a different answer. First, the POMC mutation, which is common in this breed and requires a feeding approach built around volume, slow eating, and caloric awareness rather than simply more restriction. Second, an underlying medical condition like hypothyroidism, diabetes, or Cushing's disease, which requires diagnosis and treatment before any feeding strategy will work. Third, learned behavior where food seeking has been accidentally reinforced over time and needs to be systematically unwound. Most of the time, it's the first. Sometimes it's a combination of all three. The key is knowing the difference, because once you do, you stop fighting your dog's biology and start working with it. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.